Today is Good Friday. We remember the passion and the death of our Lord Jesus Christ. Today is a day of prayer and fasting for the Catholic. Ecce homo, behold the man. Those are words spoken by Pontius Pilate to the crowd, after Pilate had Jesus scourged and had the Roman soldiers put a purple cloak around him and a crown of thorns to mock his kingship. And Pilate was hoping that in mocking Jesus' kingship, it would satiate the crowd's desire to have him crucified. But they shouted even louder, "Crucify him!" Pilate went to Jesus and asked, "Where are you from?" And Jesus did not respond, and Pilate said, "Why don't you speak to me? Don't you know I have the power to save you and the power to crucify you?" And Jesus said this, "You would have no power over me if it had not been given to you from above." All of this was part of God's plans, including the words spoken by Pilate that have been left to us, "Behold the man." That is what we Catholics do on Good Friday. And the Good Friday traditions help us of the Stations of the Cross. And maybe you watched the Good Friday liturgy online or on television this year. Part of the liturgy is the veneration of the cross. We cannot do so this year as a Catholic community, but you have the opportunity to venerate the cross in your house. And usually when people do it, they'll touch the cross and say a prayer of thanksgiving or one of the deepest prayers from their heart, whatever that might be. And there's also the act of venerating the cross by a kiss. Absorbing Jesus, that's what we do as Catholics. Most often it's through the sacrament of Holy Eucharist. On Holy Thursday, the apostles absorbed Jesus when they allowed him to wash their feet. They absorbed his love. On Good Friday, we absorb Jesus in another way, especially this year when we're away from the church. We absorb Jesus by our gaze, by our look. And that's not so hard to do. It's not so hard to imagine. You see how it works? If you look at somebody that you love, you can walk away and you have a bit of them in your spirit and in your heart. The Good Friday image of Jesus, his passion and his death, is ready to be absorbed and leave an imprint. We Catholics commemorate that with the tradition of Veronica's veil and the Shroud of Turin. And so when we look and gaze upon Jesus' last hours, we walk away with a bit of him within us. And so today, what does the Catholic do? We behold the man. Go to his arrest, his crucifixion, his death. Behold the empty cross. Behold the sealed tomb. Behold the way that he was, how he did not offer any resistance. Behold how he took the heavy cross. Behold how he stretched out his hands for the nailing. And behold his final words, and how it was for him to get those words from the deepest place of his heart in his last moments, saying, "I thirst," and also seeing his mother there and the Apostle John, "Behold your son, son, behold your mother," and then finally, "It is finished." Sometimes it's okay to be a spectator because we're meant to be witnesses and absorb what happened. And we do that every Good Friday with Jesus' final hours. In his final hours, Jesus did not speak that much. Did not speak that much at all. And it's almost as if God wanted us, don't focus about listening so much, but look, gaze, and remember the sacrifice of the Son and how Jesus did it all, did it of his own free will, and did it out of a great love that was stronger than any pain for us and for his Father. He did it all with great love. And so that's what we absorb this Good Friday. Put yourselves there. And before the end of the day, if you have a crucifix, venerate the cross. That will be your communion on this Good Friday. as we behold the man.